Hey everyone, yes I do mean you. It's me, SilverDaddy. Are you ready for another exciting adventure, aka trip or Trippin' with me? We're about to discover and share some amazing life stories. If I take a few sudden tangent turns along the way, don't worry, because I'll find our way back. Come on, climb aboard and buckle up, because we are ready to start another great episode of
Trippin' with SilverDaddy.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Trippin' with SilverDaddy. You know what we're going to do for the next couple weeks? We're going to talk about an area that I love, the Caribbean, because I know a lot about it. I lived in the Caribbean for about 8 years, and I got to travel all over to a lot of locations. I've been to a lot of the islands. I'll talk a little bit more about that. So I was actually driving Uber, and one of the things I tend to always do is I get a lot of customers coming off cruise ships in Fort Lauderdale. You know, Fort Lauderdale is the third largest cruise port in the world for passengers. Most people don't realize that number one place is also in Florida. And so is the number two place. Number one is up at Canaveral, Port Canaveral, up towards Orlando. That's actually the busiest cruise port in the world. Number two is Miami, and Fort Lauderdale's number three. So I had customers that got off the cruise boat, and every time they do, I'm like, oh, what island did you go to? And they tell me, and I'm like, oh, did you go do this? Oh, did you go do that? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh my God, it's one of the most beautiful places in the whole Caribbean. And they're always like, man, I wish I would have met you before we went. And then some customers said, you know, you should do your podcast and you should do just specials on the islands that you know a lot about. So that's kind of made me think, yeah, I need to do that. And that's what we're going to start doing for the next few weeks. So I just want to let you know, when we talk about traveling throughout the world, there's the World Tourism Organization. And they say that there's 969 million international travelers last year. That's a lot of people traveling. And this is people traveling, not for work. This is tourist type people. Now the Caribbean, they get about 28 plus million people go to the Caribbean. And that's approximately 52.4% more than the previous year, because we're coming out of that whole pandemic thing. But the area of the Caribbean, when it comes to tourism, that's only 3.1% of the entire world tourism is going to the Caribbean. Now you're probably asking, what's the most popular places in the world? Well, that would be number one is France, number two is Spain, and number three is United States. But when we're talking about people going into the Caribbean, some of the top people that go there is like people from the United States. 14.6 million people go to the Caribbean that are U.S. citizens. 5.2 million people from Europe go to the Caribbean, and 2.1 million are from Canada. So this is where a lot of people are coming from that go to the Caribbean. And there's like 900,000 people that live in the Caribbean that go island to get stuff. The total number of people that go to these islands in the Caribbean from cruise ships is a little over 19 million people. My God, 28's the total and 19's there. there's only like 9 million people or so going by airplane. Cruise ships are the biggest block of people going into the Caribbean. And that's why when these passengers on the cruise ship said, hey, if you live down there and you've been to a bunch of islands, then maybe you should talk about it. And that's what I want to do. Did you know there's, just talking about the Caribbean islands, there's over 1,000 islands in the Caribbean. Over 1,000. Did you realize the Bahamas alone has 700 islands in the Bahamas? And Antigua alone has like 50-something islands around Antigua. So there's a lot of islands down there. But when you kind of summarize what the islands are, there's sovereign nations, and then there's also territories. So there's about 30 different groups of islands. When I say groups of islands, like we would say the Bahamas is a group, Puerto Rico is a group, U.S. Virgin Islands, BVI, Turks and Caicos. So there's like 30 different nations or territories in the Caribbean. There's a lot. And the funny thing about that, of the 30, I've been to 19 of them. 19. I've been to over 63% of the Caribbean. That's kind of unreal. So that's why we're going to do a show, and I'm going to talk strictly about the Caribbean. And not only am I going to talk about the Caribbean and these islands, I'm going to spill some gay tea. Because if you're a part of the gay community, I'm going to give you some insights on where to go and where you need to be, too. So I'll try to keep this all clean. Hey, I'm going to be back in 1 minute to tell you more. I want to tell you about my friend Jasmine, but we all just call her Jazzy because she is such a cool person. And you know, she has been doing yoga for over 10 years. And for 6 years, she's actually been a certified yoga instructor. And what makes her so special, she gives great one-on-one personal lessons, or she can do group lessons. If you're like me and need to work on your flexibility as you're getting older, or, you know, you just need to find that tranquil, calm place to be, Jazzy can help you. I know she's the right person for you. Hey, her information is above. It's on Instagram. Check her out at Suffocating Love Zero. Hey, so I'm now going to tell you which islands we're not going to talk about in the next couple of weeks, because these are the islands I've never been to. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been to all of them. But these are the islands I have not been to, and we're not going to talk about them. And that would be Anguilla, Aruba, Bonaire, and then that sea island down there in the ABCs, Caracas, whatever, that sea one, can't remember that one. Grenada. What else haven't I been to? Montserrat, that's on my bucket list. I really want to go there. If anyone's going to Montserrat, please take me. Saba, St. E's, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, and Turks and Caicos. Those are the only ones I have not been to. So all the other ones I'm going to talk about if they're islands in the Caribbean. I'm not going to talk about countries around the Caribbean, just more of the islands. So I want to let you know how I did this. I actually personally ranked all the islands that I have visited from 1 to 20. I say 20. I told you I was at 19. I did break one island apart for special reasons. That's the U.S. Virgin Islands. Damn parrots. That's the U.S. Virgin Islands and St. Croix, because I lived in St. Croix, so I had to give St. Croix special mention. But all the other ones I ranked from like number 1, and number 1 I gave 20 points to, down to number 20. Then, what's more important also, I went into the Equidex. Equidex is a great resource. What Equidex does is, think of it about equality. They actually measuring the current status of the LGBT rights, the laws, their freedoms, as well as the public attitude towards LGBT. And what they do is they give every country a rating from 0 the worst to 100 the best. And they've done this for all the islands. See, I think it's very important that we know this, because I can tell you from living in the islands, the number 1 income in the islands is tourism. And I'm a big believer in respect. And if you do not have laws that are helping everyone, then your island is not respecting everyone. I want to spend my hard cash in places that show respect to everyone. And not every Caribbean island does this. And that's why I'm using the Equidex as an important part of how I'm rating all this. Just because I may say it's number 1, they may rate really low on the Equidex and not be in my top ratings. So it's very important that we spend money in countries and territories and locations that respect human rights. I'm not just talking gay rights, I'm talking all human rights. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now I'm going to tell you right now, according to this the Equidex, the worst countries in the Caribbean that got rated the lowest are, drum roll, St. Lucia, Dominica, Jamaica, Haiti, and the Bahamas. Now, the areas that got rated the highest in the Caribbean is Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and St. Martin, the Dutch side. We'll talk a little bit more about all this. But what we're going to start doing now is each segment's going to be about an island. And I'm going to give you the lowdown. So, come right back. And we are going to cover, let me see, what islands? We're going to cover island number 20 at the lowest end. Number 14 on my rating. Number 11. And number 3. I'll be right back. You are watching or listening to Trippin' with SilverDaddy. Hey, subscribe. I need you to subscribe and follow. Be right back. Did you know if you live within 20 miles of the ocean, there is saltpeter in the air? Saltpeter is very bad for your car. It can cause rust and dull your paint. So you need to get your car washed at least once a week if you live within 20 miles of the ocean. That's why I go to Majestic Car Wash. My Blue Beauty, I only trust Majestic Car Wash. They're located at 2781 North Federal Highway. You know, you have your choice. Your car can go through the 40-foot long cleaning tunnel, or it can be hand washed. They also have a detail shop that can make your car look brand spanking new. So where do I take my Blue Beauty? To Majestic Car Wash. You need to go there today. Hey everyone, welcome back to Trippin with SilverDaddy. And we're going to start talking about the islands. And the first island on my list is going to be St. Lucia. I'm going to start with the worst. St. Lucia came out in my ranking as number 20 at the very bottom of the list of all my islands. But I'll tell you this much, you better strap on your bathing suit and get ready to discover it is a gem of the Caribbean. It's a volcanic island nation, and it's stunning with its dramatic beauty. It is so well known for its iconic twin peaks, the pitons, that it's like a picture postcard for everyone. And there's so much more you can do there. I mean, there's a lot of things. You can dive into these hidden waterfalls and soak up that cool, refreshing spray beneath the waterfalls. You can actually go to the drive-in volcano and go get in some mud that's heated from the volcanoes. Spread that all over your body. Pamper yourself and have a great time. Also, St. Lucia is just really known for such a vibrant nightlife and fun and music. I will tell you, the food in St. Lucia and the markets is so much fun. You know, there's a lot of great things going for St. Lucia. However, with all that great beauty and everything else that's going on there, you can be a naturalist and love the place, but when it comes to protecting people's rights, it actually ranks as one of the lowest. Let's just tell you, when we talk about that Equidex index, they got a 17 on what the public thinks about LGBT gay rights. When it comes to their legislation and their laws and all that, they got a ranking of a 28. But what happens is when you take the 28 and that 17, they were averaging right about a 22 out of 100. That's like getting a 22% on a test. Hey, that's not good. St. Lucia, that's not good. Here's how crazy I think this is. It is illegal for men to be homosexuals on the island, and illegal for everyone to get married if you're gay. And they don't recognize any other country's rights to let people get married if they're gay. But it's illegal for men to be gay, but it's legal for women. Women can be gay. They don't go to prison or jail for it. Men do. Kind of shows some of these islands have a very strong matriarch system. Kind of like St. Lucia. It's just really bizarre, wouldn't you say? But if you are going to go there and spend your money there, probably the two things I would strongly recommend. Go to Diamond Falls, because it's a beautiful garden area. You go through all these beautiful gardens, flowers and all that. And then you have the beautiful waterfalls. And you can actually go swimming below the waterfalls. That is my number one pick of things to do there. After that, remember I just talked about those pittons, the two mountains, these two big giant rocks. They like literally are right on the beach, and they come right out of the ocean to a point. And you see them they're on every one of their tourism marketing. The second thing I would strongly suggest, take a boat ride, go around these things. They're going to make some beautiful photographs. That's the two things I would do if you're on a cruise ship going there or you decide to go visit there. But please realize, it's not legal to be gay there. So you really need to protect yourself. Hey everyone, I'm going to go to a break. I'll be right back. Hi everyone, I am in my favorite place because as soon as you walk in, the smell of this high quality leather overtakes you. Yes, I'm at Leatherworks, my favorite place to shop. They have the highest quality of leather products in the Southeast. No, I'm not just talking about Southeast Florida. I'm talking about the entire Southeast of the United States. Their products are the highest quality leather, and a lot of them are made right here. And the great thing about Leatherworks is they do not discriminate against size. So even me, Daddy Bear, I can even find things that fit me here at Leatherworks. But it's not just leather, everyone. If you have a fetish, I guarantee you they have the fetish gear that you may want. Let's just say they have a lot of things to choose from. Go online to leatherworks.com, and that's Works, W-E-R-K-S. And while you're there, you can check out, they have specialty classes. You know, if you have like a fetish and you want to learn more about, you can go there and join the lifestyle program, because then you get discounts on in-store promotions. Hey everyone, make sure you go to Leatherworks. That's Works with W-E-R-K-S, and you can buy online. Hey, let's talk about St. Kitt's. You know, St. Kitt's on my list from 1 to 20 of islands. It came out at number 14. So what I would say to you is buckle up, sugar cake, because get ready to set foot on St. Kitt. It is a sun-drenched islands, paradise in the heart of the Caribbean, rainforest that whispers sweet secrets in the breeze, and beaches that boast some of the softest sand, soft as icing sugar. Okay, sugar buns, we're going to talk about St. Kitt's. You know, it's a beautiful island, but there's much more to this island than just its beauty. This tiny island actually boasts some giant history about it. This is one of the very first colonized islands in the Caribbean. And because it's one of the first colonized, many different countries came to St. Kitt's, and it was kind of like base camp to go out and explore other islands. So it became a melting pot very fast in the Caribbean. Some people call it, it's gumbo rich because it has a little bit of everyone on this island. The island actually has the nickname of Mother Colony, because it was the first island that a lot of different countries was coming to and using it like the base camp to go other places, it really became a jumping off point, and it became the mother island that everyone went to first. And those mountains that I talked about that whisper that sweet secrets in the breeze, those aren't just any mountains, honey. Those mountains, they're actually volcanic. And the largest one, and I don't remember the name, Mount Limaguna or something like that. You can actually hike to the peak of it. Not me, I'm not gonna do that. But if you're young and you're athletic, you can hike all the way to the peak, and it has the most beautiful view, 360-degree view of all the islands. So do me a favor, if you go up there, take a camera, send me a photo so I can Photoshop me into the picture. But let me tell you one thing. This is an island where you can ditch your shoes and put on your flip-flops and just enjoy. Now, some of the best things to do on the island, I kind of already mentioned. One is hike to the top of this big-ass mountain. There's actually a trail that you can go all the way to the top of it. Now, I would not recommend that for anyone on a cruise ship, because I doubt if you're going to get back in time. But if you're going to fly to St. Kitts and stay in St. Kitts, this is definitely something if you're athletic, because it's like a challenge. You will really enjoy this. The thing that I enjoyed when I was there, and I went and did it, and I recommend it, and I don't know if you have to do this through the cruise ship. You want to go to Brimstone Hill Fortress, and it's a national park. It is a huge fort on the north side of the island. Now, pre-warn you about two things. It's where those volcanoes are, so there's a lot of sulfur. So it stinks like rotten eggs in the area. Get ready for that. If you've been to Yellowstone, you know what I mean. The other thing is, there's monkeys all over the damn fort. They will take things. So make sure you keep your glasses, your wallet, and everything secured. Maybe take a bag of peanuts and throw them some peanuts. The monkeys are cool as anything. It is one of the islands that has monkeys all over it, especially in the north section. I strongly recommend going up there. But this is a perfect island for beach time too. If you want to really soak up some great sun, there's some really good beaches. There's Frigate Bay. Go to Frigate Bay. You can go to Cockleshell Bay or Penny's Beach. Those are probably the most popular areas to go to. St. Kitts is fun. We'll talk about it in another segment. It's Sister Island. Well, I think I ended up getting rated higher than St. Kitts. That's Nevis. You can always take a ferry over there. I like Nevis. Okay, I gotta go to break. I'll be right back. Please subscribe, like, and follow. You're listening or watching Trippin' with SilverDaddy. Be back. Hey everyone, welcome back. And we are going to talk about what I ranked, personally, I ranked it as my #1 island. But when I did the index, the Equidex, it actually came out #3 in 3rd place. So, we are going to talk about a place that I lived. And I love this island. We're going to talk about Puerto Rico. Yes. I can't speak Spanish, but I lived in Puerto Rico for about 1.5 years. Now, I'm going to tell you, Puerto Rico is a big island. I think it is 3rd biggest, I believe. I think it's Cuba, Hispanica, and then Puerto Rico. But Puerto Rico, we're going to talk about if you're on a cruise ship. A lot of cruise ships go to Puerto Rico versus if you're just going to go there and spend a week in Puerto Rico. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to go on a cruise ship and you're going to Puerto Rico, do not buy any excursion. Because I'm going to tell you, there is 2 great walking things you can do from the cruise ship. I call one the short walk and the long walk. So I'm going to start with the short walk. So if you don't want to walk too much, but you want to see stuff, what you're going to do is you're going to research and go to, whoops, sorry. You're going to research and go to Vieques, San Cristobal. It's basically Christopher's Fort, Fort Christopher. Research and walk there. It's only like 3 or 4 blocks. And you're going to start out and walk to this. Now, you have to pay to get into it. But this is a really cool place because it is one of the largest fortification buildings by the Spanish in the New World. It's huge. And way back in the 18-somethings, they even tore part of it down just so they could build a road. Believe that crap? But you're going to start there. Okay? So go do the tour of the fort. It's beautiful. You're going to love it. When you leave there, like right across the street from where you go into the fort, is Plaza Colon. And it's a really cool little plaza. There's going to be merchants there. Big statue of Christopher Columbus in the center of the plaza. But a lot of things take off from this plaza. And you're kind of like right in the heart of the area. It's right by the fort. Now on the north side, that's going to be the furthest away from the cruise ship, you're going to take Calais, San Francisco Street. And you're going to head west. Okay? Now you're going to stay on that and you're just going to see a bunch of shops. The roads are beautiful. The cobble road, the houses, the roads that come down into it on the hill. You take a lot of photographs. And there's a lot of shopping you can do there as you walk there. And you're going to stay on that street until you hit Calais de la Cruz. Calais de la Cruz. Street cruise. You'll know when you're on that street, you're going to take a left. On the opposite corner that you approach, there's going to be a big park there. And you want to go into this park. Okay? This is Plaza, oh God, the 4 fountains. Plaza de Armas, San Juan, something like that. Big park right at the corner of Cruz and San Francisco. And there's a really cool fountain in there you need to go see. It's called the 4 Season Fountains. And there's 4 statues. There's a statue for summer, winter, spring, and fall. And you have to get your photograph with your statue. Figure out what month you're in and get a photo with that. It's good luck. But you're going to go there. Now, you're going to go down. You're going to be heading south. So when you got to Cruz, the park is across the street. When you get there, you're going to be taking a left and you're going to be going against traffic. Traffic's going to be coming at you. Just walk all the way down the hill. You can shop all the way down. Go all the way to the bottom of the hill and you're going to hit the Root Fountain. Another beautiful fountain. It's at the very bottom. You're going to be back down by the waterway where the ships are. Do that. You're going to hang a left and you're going to walk back to the cruise ships. That's the short trail. Want to take the longer trail? Here's what you do. You're going to get a taxi. and you're going to go up to, we know it is El Morro, but the technical name is Castellino San Felipe. Want to take the longer trail? Here's what you do. You're going to get a taxi, and you're going to go up to, we know it is El Morro, but the technical name is Castellino San Felipe del Morro. They just call it El Morro. The reason I say take a taxi, it is all the way to the top of the hill. It's a long hill and it's pretty far. So if you take a taxi to that, and it's a national park, there's a lot of things up there. It's beautiful. This is a huge fort and citadel built on the point where the cruise ships come in and go out. It's lit up at night. That's where they do the fireworks, the kite flying. There's the great lawns up there. Simply one of the most beautiful places in Puerto Rico. You've got to go there. Once you're there, walking back to the cruise ship, it's all downhill. It's a lot easier. So there's a couple things up there you can look for. Like when you're up there, there's the Bastilon of San Antonio. It was where like bunker houses way back when they built. There's one left. You can go see that. But what you got to find, and I can't even say this guy's name. The only thing I can tell you, it's the monument of Don Juan. So look for the monument of Don Juan, because there's a road right next to it, and you're going to take that road to get out, okay? And that road is El Campo El Morro, or Del Morro. El Campo del Morro. You're going to take that road. When you go down that road, there's a lot of things you're going to see. There's the sanctuary of Gado, like the cat sanctuary where all these cats are and people feed cats. There's a beautiful fountain on the way there, and it's up on the hill and it overlooks the water and everything. Beautiful walk. Now you're going to stay on that road, and that road actually kind of converts into another road, and that other road is Muñoz, the lady. Catalina de las Monjas, Monjas, something like that. The road looks like it's the same road. It just bears into that. Stay on that road. You're going to see a lot of beautiful things. You're going to go past, like I said, there's a beautiful sculpture. You're going to go past the cathedral. You'll go past some museums. There's a lot just staying on that road. When that road ends, you're going to just do like this real short left and a right. Because the road kind of dead ends into a building. And it's just kind of like a real short left and right. And then what you're going to get on there is that road is Calle de Luna. Okay, Calle de Luna. So then you're going to follow that road until you actually get to what I was talking about earlier. Till you get to the cruise road. Till you get Calle de la Cruz. When you get there, you're coming from the opposite direction of the short one. So you're going to take a right, go downhill, but stop at that park I told everyone about, go all the way down to the fountain at the very bottom, take a left, and go back to the cruise ship. That's the two walks. Now, when I come back, I'm going to talk to everyone who is going to stay in Puerto Rico for the whole week. I'll be right back. You're going to Puerto Rico and you're going to stay a week, rent a car. They're cheap and it's easy to drive in Puerto Rico. And I'm going to tell you some of my favorite places and places you can go. Also, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. If you haven't made reservations, there's a really cute little boutique hotel that I used to work at called La Playita, right by the international airport, right on the beaches. Not the beach is right there across the street. And then the back of it, where the restaurant is on the bay where the Ritz-Carlton is. And if you want, call La Plata. Ask for Alberto. He's the owner. Say, hey, Alberto, Big Mike up in Florida that used to work for you told me to call you and see if you have any special deals. I'm not even going to tell him I did this. That'd be kind of funny. But he'll give you probably a special deal if you know me. But if you're going to stay in Old San Juan for a week, first of all, you're going to go to Old San Juan. I just told you 2 walking tours. Do any of that. Do both of it. Spend a day in Old San Juan. That's number 1. It is the most beautiful city in the Caribbean. Hands down, from beauty, tourist point of view, safe, go to Old San Juan. The next thing are places I would drive to or go to. Oh, before that, because see, you really want to get out of San Juan. You want to go to the outer parts of the island where it's really good. But on a weekend, on a Friday night or Saturday night in Old San Juan, you need to find this place. This is the party place. It is called, oh boy, the mind's going blank. La Placita de St Lucia. La Placita is the building, and it's in the area of St Lucia. This is where it's like a street market. It's a big square street and a market in the middle and a block. But everyone parties, drinks, dances. They sell Cuban cigars. And there's all these bars and restaurants everywhere around it. And the streets get closed down just for people walking around drinking and having fun. It is the party fun place that only locals really know about. And I used to live not far from there. I used to walk to it. But definitely go there. Only on Friday and Saturday nights, though. Okay, where would I go first? Oh, you have to go. You got to take a ferry and spend one night in Vieques. Vieques is another island. You can take a ferry to it, but Vieques is like another world. So just to start, Vieques at one point, half the island was used as a bombing field for the U.S. military. So like half the island you're not allowed to go on, they're still digging up bombs that didn't blow up. Eventually, it's all going to be part of a national park, but they got to get all the bombs out first. But Vieques is like going back in time. The little town on the south side, opposite where the ferry is, I was there at night. Bars, a lot of every little hotels, bars, and you sit right out on the street. People are riding horses. Horses are flying up and down. There's wild horses on the island, but people ride horses in the streets. But the coolest thing to do there, it has the world's best bioluminescent bay. I am telling you, if you ever wanted to feel like a Disney fairy godmother, you go out in these canoes and you can just take your hand, just run your hand across the top of the water, and the water turns bright blue behind your fingers. You pick your hand up, water's dripping down your hand, bright blue. It is the most incredible thing. I took my daughter there, we went there, and we went when it was considered dark, when the bioluminescence wasn't blooming, and it happens every 15 years or so, but it was still amazing. I can't imagine what it's like today, because it's back in full bloom. Gotta go to Vieques, I'm telling you. That's a definite. Now, I would tell you to go to the other side of the island, the west side. Boqueron and Cabo Rojo. Boqueron is one of my favorite towns in all of Puerto Rico. I'll tell you that much right now. Boqueron, if you can stay there and get a room, at night, the whole street, people are partying, having fun. They're selling oysters on the half shell, all this food, everything in the streets until midnight. At midnight, boom, boom, boom. It all closes down and everyone goes to their house and goes to bed. It's amazing. But it's just the coolest area. So I would definitely go to the west side. Oh, while you're over on the west side, if you're a scuba diver, go up to Rincon. That's where I actually got my certification with my daughter and my ex-partner up in Rincon. You can go out to the one island, starts with a D. You can see live bombs out there. You can go out there. There's also Crash Boat Beach you can go diving at. We did a lot of diving, and that's where we got certified, is in Rincon. But when you're in Boqueron, you can just go south of it, and there's a point with the lighthouse. You go to the lighthouse, and there's salt flats where they flood these fields with salt water. They then let it drain, and it turns into cakes of salt. And the whole area is all white with salt. Really cool place. And then there's St Hermana down in that area. There's so much to do on the west side. Go to the west side of the island. Now, a lot of people say you have to go to El Yunque. El Yunque is the rainforest. But I'm going to tell you, you know what the rainforest looks like? Here, let me take my camera. It would be like this. This is what you're going to see on the whole mountain. You ready? This is what you see. If you're watching me on YouTube, this is what the rainforest looks like. Nothing but trees. There is a waterfall, which is decent, but it's not worth driving all the way down there. That's my opinion. I think you're better off going to the west side. There's another place in the mountains in the center of the island. Oh, I can't remember the name. It's Utuado. Utuado. That's the city. So Utuado. That's how you spell the city. Go there. They have some of the oldest native Tainto Indians, and it's not a cemetery, it's a ceremonial area. And there's all these petroglyphs, and the holy mountains are there. And you can go tubing through caves. I'm telling you, it was inspiring. It gave me like that feeling that I was in a special place. But go there. Oh my God, Puerto Rico. There's so much to do in Puerto Rico. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this week. Because you know what? I have a great time telling you the stuff that I know about the islands. Next week, we're going to talk about a few more islands. Hey everyone, I got to go. Have a great week. And I'm going to roll some credits so you can see where some of this stuff is. And after that, we're just going to end the show. So remember, as always, love, peace, and respect. You've been listening to or watching Trippin' with SilverDaddy. Bye! Credits roll.